What's up, Facebook fam? It is Tuesday, and you know what goes down on Tuesday. Absolutely, it is Wife Chat Tuesday with your girl, Gail Crowder, the one sexy wife, and I am so excited. Today is Tuesday because I get a chance to join each and every last one of you guys on Wife Chat Tuesday. And so today, I'm really excited about our topic. That we're going to be talking about tonight, which is our in-laws, family matters. You know, when it comes to family matters, everybody, I don't care who it is, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Make sure that you go share it with another sexy wife. That Wife Chat Tuesday is going down. Hey, you guys, thank you guys so much for joining me. Thank you for joining me. Please go spread the word that Wife Chat Tuesday is going down. We're going to talk about in-laws today. I got this this request from a friend of mine, and so I'm going to talk about in-laws, right? And so again, everybody, thank you guys so much for hopping on. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you. Please hit the share button. Go tell another sexy wife that Wife Chat Tuesday is going down with your girl, Gail Crowder. I'm so excited to be on here. I love when Tuesdays come, and people who know me know that I talk about Wife Chat all the time because I get an opportunity to come into you guys feed and just, you know, give you some great information that you guys have told me you wanted me to talk about. So today I'm going to talk about those in-laws. Yes, the in-laws, because, you know, no matter what, we don't get it. We can choose our spouses, but we don't get a chance to choose those people to come along with them, called our in-laws. And, you know, as wives, we always should try to strive to have amazing relationships with our extended families, right? But sometimes that don't always work out, and I know that to be true. And so I'm going to really just talk to you about how to resolve some of the issues in the family, right? And not be the source of the issues, but try to be the solution to some of the issues that go on in families. And I understand, you know, I've been married for 30 years, and you know, some of my in-laws have went on and passed on, but we did have some conflicts earlier in our marriage, of course. And so I still have in-laws as well, and I get along with most of them, and some of them I don't. And so again, the dynamics, again, we don't get a chance to choose them. We can choose our spouses, but again, we come as a package deal. You have in-laws and they do too. And so how do we come together as a family and not cause stress and strife and pit the kids against one another and all of these different things when it comes to families? And so I really want to talk about that because I had, like I said, I had a personal request from a girlfriend to really kind of tackle this on Wife Chat Tuesday. And then next week I had a couple of requests to really talk about intimacy. So I'm going to tackle intimacy next Tuesday. Just to let you know, I did an extensive teaching on intimacy, but this seems to be something that you guys want to hear again. So I definitely will tackle it again on next Tuesday. So let me just give you some statistics and get right into it. And again, I thank you guys so much for joining me. Do you know that 87% of families will have some kind of in-law drama in their lifetime of their marriage? Either it's going to be on your side or it's going to be on his side. But 87%, that is a huge percentage of us dealing with family dramas. And so I wanted to come in here and really kind of tackle it. And of course, we can't tackle every situation and every scenario or whatever, but I just really want to give you some quick tools and tips and some things to kind of help you mitigate what is going on. So the first thing I really want to say is, if there's children involved, like with grandchildren and you know, other spouses, blended families, all of those situations, the children shouldn't be involved in that, right? The grown people need to handle the situation and not use the kids as pawn. I want to start off by saying that, because so many people use children as weapons against the other parents or grandparents, or you know, I'm not going to allow you to see this person because of this person, and all those kind of things. Children should never be used as weapons. I don't care how nasty it gets with the grandparents and all the grown people stuff. Leave the children out of that, because they are byproducts of that, and don't get them involved with your shenanigans and your shortcomings or your whatever's going on, because you need to be an adult and handle it with the adults, and don't pull children into that. So I just want to say that, because a lot of times grandparents and you know, different spouses or whatever, not getting a chance to have quality time with their children, because we as adults don't want to come to the table and come up with a resolution that works for all the parties. So I just want to say that. But 87% of families have dealt with some type of drama. So the first thing I say to do is really schedule a sit down with the family. And a lot of times people say, why do I need to include other people? Let me just tell you, if you're a family, somebody's gossiping. So somebody got a wind of what's going on in the family anyway, and they're going to have their own version of it. So you might as well have a total sit down if you can, and resolve it so everybody hears it from the source, and everybody don't have their own opinion. Well, so-and-so said so-and-so, and so-and-so said, you know how we do. And so it just gets inflated. So I say have a sit down with all parties involved, and anybody else that wants to, that think they need to be involved. For the simple fact is, you'll be on one accord. It'll be all resolved in one family setting. What I don't say do is try to do it at a family reunion or something like that, because then that just ruins everybody's time. But with technology nowadays, if you're not in the same state, like my family's not in the same state, if your family's not in the same state, get on a conference call line or get on a Zoom or something like that. But make sure that you resolve the issues, and it just don't continue to grow, and it starts affecting, you know, your children. It starts affecting, you know, you talking to other people in the family, because you don't know who didn't say what, and all of these different kind of dynamics that we face. So I just say schedule a time that works for everybody, and make it happen, and just really be open and honest. Don't come with drama. Try to come with some solutions. So that's the first thing, schedule a time. The other thing is make sure that you stick to the topic. Not what you heard, not what you whatever, but stick to the issue that you have. And don't pull other people's issues that you have discussed into your issue. Stick to the issue you have with that person, and make sure that you address it. And if it's drama with your mother-in-law or drama with your father-in-law, I say do your best not to put your husband in the middle of it, because it's so hard to get your husband to choose you over their family. I understand what his vows are. I understand the covenant that you cut. I understand you're supposed to come first. But let me just tell you, that woman had him. And it makes it very, very difficult when you put him in a position where they have to choose. Not saying if he doesn't choose or he's not taking up for you, it's right. What I'm saying is it puts your husband or in a very, very awkward position, just like it will put you in an awkward position if you have to choose between your mother and your spouse. So don't make him have to choose. You can have those conversations, but I always say go straight to the source. If you can sit down and have a conversation with his mother or his father or whatever that dynamic is, I always say do that. And if you're dealing with siblings that are constantly meddling in your business, I suggest that you have a conversation with them as well. And there's nothing wrong with you having a conversation with your spouse and saying, this is how this is making me feel. This is how it's affecting the family dynamic, And I think it would be, he would find it easier to speak to his siblings than it is to his parents. I'm just letting you know. And when you approach the family, don't approach them, well, you need to do this or you can't do this or whatever. You need to approach them as everybody's an adult. You need to be heard, but you also need to be prepared to listen. Okay. And I'm not saying that every family is going to get along perfect. Everybody's going to just he. I'm not saying that. Well, what I'm saying is that when you're involved in a family, you want to try to mitigate as much as possible, because it's horrible to go somewhere and you sitting over in the corner and you feel like everybody's talking about you and you feel like there's so many unresolved issues. It just is not a comfortable situation for the family, and it's not a comfortable situation for your children either. And the other thing is, when you go into this meeting, or you go in, really have your thoughts very clear. Because again, when you get to rambling, people lose, you lose people, and they don't want to listen, and they're not tuned in or whatever. So make sure that you write what you want to talk about, allow them to speak what they want to say, and really get in a position to listen. Because a lot of times we want to react and we don't want to listen. And it might be just a misunderstanding, that they was thinking one thing, you was thinking another thing. And you have to realize, when people come together as a family, right? You're coming from different backgrounds, from different, from different upbringings, all different, ways of doing things. And sometimes it is hard to bring and to bridge that gap. Just, as an example, when I was being raised, we got corporal punishment, but not to the degree that my husband got it, right? And so, when with him, he was like, let's tear him up. And with me, it was like, well, I don't think he did anything that warranted that, right? But it was just two different perspectives coming together, trying to raise this child. So we had to reach a happy medium. You know what I mean? And that has nothing. But it also comes back to how people was raised, the exposure, and all those kind of things. And so when it comes to communicating and really communicating effectively as a family, everybody doesn't have great communication skills. And if you're the person that can bring that to the table, make sure you bring the communication skills, but also bring the listening skills into play as well. And the other thing is, when you come with a problem, try to come with some solution as well. Because at the end of the day, you want the family to stay intact. You want your children to still be involved with their grandparents or with their aunts and uncles and all those kind of things, because it truly does take a village to raise children nowadays. And it really, a family is under attack like never before. And so I always say, try to keep the family together as much as possible. Sometimes it is a losing situation, and I understand that. But if you can do anything to resolve the issues that's going on in your family, I always say, try to do that, because it's so important. Because with our family, really, what do you have? Right? And I understand that some people's families are just horrible. You have tried, you just have thrown in the towel. But I will tell you, you're doing yourself a disservice if you have not tried to do everything under your power to try to salvage the relationships that are fostered in a family. Because I will tell you, your family is going to back you when nobody else will. And I believe that with every fiber of my being. And so, as you really go into your situations, and I hope that you're not in a situation where you're struggling in your family and you have a family that's divided and everybody's gossiping about one person and all of these different kind of things, right? Try to be the bridge that brings the family together. Try to be the mediator that tries to resolve the problems and not create the problems. And if you're to the point where the family is such disarray, I suggest that you try to get a mediator to step in. And you can Google a mediator or whatever, a family mediator or family counselor or coach or whatever in your area, because it's so important to bridge that gap and try to mend some of those fences. And I experienced this in my own marriage, and my mother-in-law has passed away. But, you know, when I first came into my marriage, it was like, you know, get what you married me, and what your mother says it does, or whatever needs, it doesn't matter. But, you know, I really broke that relationship, and I had to go and repair it because I did not know any better. Because I literally was like, he belongs to me now. Your needs need to be put on the back burner, and so be it. But that wasn't the way to handle that, because I did not know any better. I was 21 when I got married, had no business being married. So I had to go back and bridge that relationship. And thank God that me and my mother-in-law had an amazing relationship before she passed away. But it took a couple of years, because literally I was out of control. I was out of control in so many areas of my life, and that was one of them. And so I had to go back and apologize, you know, especially when I had my son. I wanted her to be involved in his life, and she was able to do that. And she was able to, you know, nurture on him and love on him and all those things. But if I wouldn't have gotten myself together, and if I wouldn't have apologized to her, and if I wouldn't have really seen her point of view when it came to what, you know, how she loved my husband, and how, you know, she wanted the best for him, right? And not saying that she didn't feel that I was the best, but I kind of came out of nowhere. Gail and I dated for 6 months, and we was married, right? And so she didn't really get to know me. She didn't see that relationship, because I lived in Texas and he's from Tennessee. So all of those things came into play. But my thoughts was, I'm here now, I'm married to your son, and what? That's a bad attitude. That's a horrible attitude. But that's the attitude that I had. So again, I had to be the bridge that brought our family back together, because again, you know, it spread out throughout the family. His wife is crazy, really, which they wasn't far off that I was crazy, because I did act crazy. But what I'm saying is I had to bridge that gap, not just with her, with her, you know, his aunts and all different kind of things. And once they got to know me, of course they love me because I'm lovable. But again, I had to be the one who went and took credit for my behavior and bridged that gap. And so again, hopefully with some of the tools and strategies that I have laid out for you, that you will really think about that and really have some conversations that we've been avoiding. But every time that person calls, or every time you see a picture of them, or every time you see a post on Facebook, they irritate you. Be the bridge, be the person, that the bigger person, and say, you know what, this family matters. And I'm not going to make my husband choose sides. And if you're a husband, don't make your wife choose sides. Really try to be the bridge that bridges that, because 87% of families are dealing with some family drama. That is absolutely horrendous. That is horrendous. And we as adults are using children as pawns. That even makes it even worse. It really does. So really think about it, and really realize what is most important in life. And what's most important is your family, because at the end of the day, when the lights go off or whatever, that's what's going to be there standing with you and loving on you, and hopefully taking care of you if you get sick, or any of those things are so important. And so I want to open up the lines. If anybody has any questions or comments or anything like that, please, please, please let me know. Thank you guys so much for hopping on here. Hey, Sonia J. Wells, I love you. Hey, Sean, oh my. I love you guys. Thank you guys so much for getting on here. I truly, truly appreciate you guys. And again, I thank you guys for supporting Wife Chat. Again, I received a whole lot of requests about intimacy. So I'm going to get on here and really address intimacy again next week. Again, I did an amazing teaching on a Wife Chat, the 5 stages of intimacy. And so I'm going to come from a different approach of intimacy, because it seems like a lot of you guys are struggling in your marriage when it comes to intimacy. And just to let you guys know, I have developed a 8-week program called Intimacy, Love, and Sex that I'm going to be launching at in the middle of this month. So I'm super excited about that. So you guys will hear more information about that. And again, if you have not registered for the Wife Summit, you guys have done yourself a disservice, because it's going to be absolutely 100% amazing. It is going to be amazing. Me and my team are working really, really hard. We're working on some amazing hot celebrities that's going to come, some amazing teachers and speakers. And it's just going to be really amazing when it comes to a summit. It's going to be a summit like no other. Literally, it's going to be a summit that is going to literally shake the foundation of Washington, D.C. And so please, please join me on the summit. And again, I thank you guys so much for jumping on here. And if I scroll through, I don't think anybody had any questions for me, but again, you guys know I am an open book. And so if you have any questions or you are too shy to put them in the chat, please just hit me up. I do offer a free 30-minute discovery call with me, and I would love to talk to you guys. Just go to gailcrowder.com. And again, I love you guys to pieces. I'm putting the Wives Summit here. And I can't type, so y'all know I can't type. So I can't. I pay somebody to do that for me. And so hopefully I did it right. The Wives Summit. Anyway, if I didn't do it right, it's thewivesummit.com. Again, I love you guys to pieces. If you want to hear something discussed here on Wife Chat, you know what to do. Just hit me up. I will love, 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 love to talk to you guys. Have an amazing night. And just remember, be the bridge. Be the bridge, not the problem. And try to come up with some solutions, because 87% of us dealing with family drama is entirely too much. All right. I love you guys to pieces. Have an amazing night.